Um, please go to page number 10. Um, page number 10, refuge and bodhicitta. Each verse will chant in Tibetan 2 times, and also mandala offering. And afterward, we'll say in English each verse 1 time. Zon che wo la ma la ya zon che wo san ye la ya zon che la ya zon che wo ye zon che wo ya san ye che dan zo je cho nam la chang jo ba do dan ne ya zon che da ye jen zo je ve co nam je do la pen je san je do par sho san je che dan zo je cho nam la chang jo ba do dan ne cha zo je da ye jen zo je ve so nam je do la pen je san je do bar sho ya sen je tam je de wa de ve jo dan den bar jo je sem je tam je do ma dan do ma je ju dan ra war sem je tam je do ma me be de wa dan men da war ju je sem je tam je nye ra cha dan ni dan ra ve da nyam la ne war ju ro je sem je tam je Deve Jordan Dembar Georgia Semje Tam Je Dan Duma Je Jordan Dawar Georgia Semje Tam Je Bebe Dewa Dame Dawar Georgia Semje Tam Je Chodon Yidon Dog Danyon La Nevara Juro Jeo Sa Je Boje Jusha Medo Dam Ro Len Je Nye De Jemba De San Ye Shando Me De Bo Ye Go Nam Da Shen La Jo Bar Sho Ye Nam Guru Rana Men Kame Yanda Amen. In English, on page number 11, I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. From now until my enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. And by the merit creating this practice, may I attain the state of Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. Sentient beings enjoy happiness and causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and causes. May all sentient beings never be separated from joyful bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, filled with bias, attachment, and anger. They surround a mountain with perfume, strewn with flowers, bound to milk, encircled by the four continents, surmounted by the sun and the moon. I visualize this Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy the pure land. Yedong Guru Rana Mendala Bame Yataya Me. Shumara. Okay, so today, Foundation's prayer in Tibetan on page number 14. Bezawa so so tarwala Drupa nyembo che war chen lo Rani so so long wa je shen Ma je do wa dong jiang de zhang Tong ne do ma do ve ke che Shang zhe sen chong zhong wer shen jie lo Sen zang jie jiang cu zhen nam song Gong pa me na xiang zhe me zhong Tong ne ya se dong ba na Zong ba zhang bo lo ber qian xie lo Lo yue yu la yang wa xie xie xiang Yang da duan la zu xian zhong ma yi Xie ne la dong song du zha me la Niu de zhe na che war chen jie lo Tu mo lan jia no de zhe wa na Ta ba ge jie xiao zhe duo jie tong Ga san jie wu jue mo da ban De la ye do ju ber qian jie lo De zhen wu zhu na ni zhu bie shi Nan da dan ze dong ber song wa na Zhe ma me be nie ba nie zhe ne So dan du de song wer shen jie lo De ne zhe de niang wo de nie jie Nam da ne xian dong ne zong wa yi Dong shi na zhe chong li me yan wen Dang bi song xian zhe ber xian jie lo De lang song dong bi shi ni dong Ce zhe zhe bie zhong nan xiang zhang Xie dang nan di wan de zhong bi zong Nie wer shi wer xian jie lang de su Jie wa gong de yang dang la ma dang Zhe me che jie ba la long zhe zhen Sa dang nan jie yong de ra zo ni Lord jie chang di gong hao ye do shou
Yeah, that low saw a lot of delicious.
Um, Tashidelic and warm greeting for the new year.
Happy New
For the happy new
Year. It's a tongue in a low said Mong Tapazambres. That Nima Mongo. Nima some Yatricilla, the part dog shit. Nima some Yatristama, Suji, the part in the Karchach, Karchas, Tapama, that's one tamate. Kachikas, the Bombayang, the Charos. The nothing out of me, Matsis, and American out of me, Pongo in the Dar. Chitang out of Pongo, the Chen Yuang, the total Chimbos Chador, the inner. Such a long Namka Yon Soba shocked in the Pongbos in the Chidor. They march the General Party, Dombeyanga Chadu, the Zadat. Sangmaya, Chopi Chani, Nawajio did, Ponzu de Basicus. Pa, Tobin and Swan Church, Church, woman, you be Dombeyang, you did London de Basico. We needed it, don't be Dombeyang, low sour, the low young basin. Georgia don't go matter among the Tassums and Tennis so. The Telatini Shawaji, she took the Shawaji, she was younger.
the actually when we talk about the year, past year or new year, uh, so this it's very when we look at the very the nature of the its functions and how it being created. And for example, what is the year? And so that year is just kind of merely label the name, and it's nothing we can find the when we look at what is the year. For example, when we look the whole year, of course, it is the very combinations of the combinations of the seconds, a minute, time, the hour, day, week, month, and so forth. So we call the year, which is the 360 days, and but the if we look at the very details, for example, how the year is being made, we couldn't find. It will kind of like dissolve into in emptiness, or it become empty. Similarly, our the five aggregates and for aggregate also the very combinations of the five elements, and but if we go through each of the body's part, we cannot find the what are the which are the that body, but very the collections of the five aggregate we call the body. Otherwise, it will this it will kind of we cannot find anything at all. And but anyway, whatever being combined or being collected, and which eventually we can experience or it's appear. So we call it, it is a conventional phenomena, where once we through the investigations, and we try to point the very locations and part where it come from, we cannot find it all. It will dissolve into the subtle the part of the phenomena. For example, like five elements and so forth. And so that is we call the ultimate phenomena.
There's a tongue around what's each chicken number, you must get to stand at the phone. It's a time at each chicken die, and you must get to saw it in good skin water. samlo ka tang ko lo sawa chi le na kar sam to ta lo nyang be tang dang kar chi sha samlo ko chi tang yo ko chi na te be yo ko chi si yang chi ma ta ding ma ta lo sawa ti na te chi chu yin se tan de la ba pa chi ko rs ani su su de chan ro chi shu den chi jo na ta den yo ko chi ma de lo nyang be dang yo ko chi ma de ta ko ni sam ba yo ma da de pi zhe ma dang ma zo de do ta nge den yo ba dang chi gun sha ba sha dom chi ni ta lo sa we na nge chi ge men dam ja chi ta we na 샤파샤로 것들 요식지 제나 되지니 아니 삼라 예치 당토와이나 어떤 개편들었다 소
So the um, the year 2023 is almost finished, and a new year 2024 yet to come, and it's about to start tomorrow actually, and so what is the very important, and for example, of course, the what you call the revolutions, right? And you call revolution, right? Revolutions. Yeah. What are the revolutions, and what kind of things you should achieve in the new year is the have to done in this 2023. If you did something good and accumulate virtues, good merit and good heart and so forth, then you kind of proud yourself and dedicate and those merit and virtue. But if you find that I did things that I'm not supposed to do and accumulate the non virtues and bad karma and so forth, and this is the time your revolution will be purifications in 2024, and with the deep renunciations and having a deep renunciations, and you try to purify those the of course the it is past what you have done negatively, it has been past, but the stain defilement still there, and what you need to do, you have to purify those stain or the defilement in the new year.
근데 다 때랑 자유미 못 듣는 가정 노착 로서 따따는 로사베 뭔가 좀 자유미 못 듣는 게 있음 바지 게 있음 손에 들라오 따때 가는 거 용도 심식진이 들라 나 관심 못 되지
Wangcha.
음
And I think
로사베
make yourself challenge and more interesting, challenge yourself. For example, last week we discussed about the attachments or the desire. Actually, we are on these six basic emotions. The first one is attachment and desire, and today we will discuss more the six basic emotions, such as aversions, pride, and so forth. But I think, and also make yourself challenge that in this new year you will. Understand and recognize these six basic emotions, and your task will be not to let arise these six basic emotions in the new year.
괜찮다 미치라 결혼하는데 가득 짜고 그다 미팅 있은지네 미트 하고 하지네 되게 가득 짜이나 더덕 짜다 버려 미치라 레와 주고 그나 미트 레와 주사때 한번 미팅 있은지네 하고 하지네 되게 미트라 레와 주고 그다 나선 그 녀모라 안에 가득 짜게 녀모들 때데 sem나 샤고도 녀모들 때 하고 하지네 가득 짜고 그래 근데 지금 냠는 지게 나도 어디 냥지는데 샴바른데 되게 sem장보 임방 있은지네 되네 때라 레와 주고 그러지
유몽들라 오라기 타마디 유몽라 임바.
묘모는 가득 짜고는 묘모 등인지 지네들이 가득 짜고 그러지.
네.
배나 기위섬도 레와 주고나 동고 기위섬도 등인지 지네 때라 레와 주고 그러지. 진짜 또 동고 하고 그때 배가 좀 벌써 반항체라.
So the reasons we have to recognize and understand these six basic emotions And for example, in order to us to deal with the any individuals, any persons, whether you try to defeat or whether you try to overcome, or whether you do anything, first of all, you have to know these persons in order to defeat that persons, right? And you have to understand his and her, the very nature and so forth. So once you understand what his or her, the power and knowledge and the way of thinking, then you can kind of make a plan, and in order to how to defeat and how to overcome and how to get the benefits and so forth. Similarly, whether it is the defeating or something you're hoping from someone, not only just defeating, but you are hoping from someone to receive something. So first of all, you have to know that person, right, before you approach. And similarly, in order to us to the getting something from the our mind, whether it is virtues and non-virtues, whether it is defeating or arising. So first of all, we have to know, we have to recognize our mind, such as virtuous mind and the non-virtuous mind. If you want to something accumulate and something to have to arise, then you have to recognize that virtuous mind, what kind of virtuous mind there are, and by knowing that, then you can walk accordingly. Similarly, if you want to defeat your negative mind, first of all, you have to know what kind of negative mind I have. And once you recognize, fully recognize and understand, and knowing each of the negative minds, such as six basic emotions and so forth, then you can able to defeat those mind, like you defeating or taking advantaging or getting some anything hope from the persons like this.
된다 아니 제시 좀 나간다 너는 소대만 간다 삼는 요목기만 또 머춤시 봐 야실라리스 남성스만 요목기 오나 하고 송 남성들 마음에 안고 머춤시 어때 냠나가 좋으래서 근데 그 원차 맞을지 그 원도 만들어지 맞을 때 요목기 없어 요목 때문에 진짜 더 짠짠 요목 원도 없어 그냥 쓸게요 좀때 봐서 그래 머춤시 와 야실라리 머춤 머세요 공부를 없어 아 좀좀 매워서 그래서
And therefore it is mentions in the textbook, the 37th Bodhicitta advice or the actions. The one of the quote, it mentioned that how we should deal with our mind, and you have always be aware and watchful toward your mind. As soon as it appear, and you have to knock it down. You have to knock it down as soon as possible. You whenever it appear and whenever it pop up from your body, and you have to hammer it and make sure it's never come again. So even though it is mentions not just arising, but as soon as it pop up, coming out of our mind and so forth, you have to purify or hammer it down.
뭐야 다 같은 쉐덩세데 공조동 쉐덩이라 잡을됐어요 저 콩초아세데 쉐덩아세니 쉐덩세 셈비땅니 파속들라 드셔지고 삼바들라 쉐덩서고 쉐덩 기사데 조네 교 셈덩 남바실라마도 상동 든지 사동도 든지 쉐덩 기세서 말해 공조세데 셈 땅다 초즈 등의 기대를 술 맡아지네 그 용어지를 때 이낭 던지스 잡으려 그래서 그냥 아니 인견이가 셰당당 공부강이나 제사대 조네 등을 찍을 때니 좀 등을 들어 술 맡아지네 때네 때 남바도 셔터 맞으래서
공부 나 갈래.
시당.
시당라.
그치 지난 지 너무 매나다.
시당 너무 좋아. 아래 시당 아래 도착 공동하여 말이 바티즘 타와. 공부다 시당. Yeah. So anyway, so the anger or the hatred, anger and the hatred, and so the anger and hatred are very similar, and usually both anger and hatred um, arise caused by one's suffering. Actually, it's caused by one's suffering. That suffering that we cannot bear, and we eventually will have that kind of anger or the hatred. And hatred usually, mostly it's the afflicted or arise from the from the like the people who has mostly like sentient beings, and but the anger usually arise from the objects.
이거 뜻동도 보는 심전에 된데 용어인데 잡으로 들으셔서 된자다 아니 셰동이나 디동 남바탐지 득자를 파쇼들라베 나르심 지근이랑다 노밖에 하고 섬이 베드테 그러면 제 삼로 시리즈라 델트네 나스임 노스임세다 노스임 용어로 노비서바 나 공투이나 때니와 요참arte 베나 파마가 그것들이 조금 뭔가발라 아니지 공투랑이나 임바 공투랑 남바더니 거지 오르다 나 심비 땅네 그런 거 마음이 인들람당 되게 삼로 당치네 같이 이거를 그롱만 봐 말이지.
And the comparisons between the anger and the hatred or aversions bit different, slightly different if we measure this the level of content, level of the non-virtues or level of effects and so forth. For example, the hatred or aversion usually caused by driven by the covetousness or malicious and so forth, where the anger usually it could be out of closeness or out of attachments and out of care toward others and love and so forth. For example, mother anger and the mother anger toward mother and father anger toward their children's, and their anger it isn't the aversions or hatred, but with the love, they wish their children to the
어떤 보고서 마음이 늘름랑 삼동 거 늘름 돌아오는구나 그 빛에 탑락
For example, parents they always concerned for their children's futures, right? And if there anything's obstacle arise to their children's, and then parents always they worry and scold and shout them and not do this and that out of anger.
어딘저다 아니 저동 셰동 기용도 미치 공부랑 거는 미들라 저동 양지기야 고거를 임층 요래서 임층 가서는 또 공부랑 들어가 어떻게 공부도 되고 너무 많대 코로나 등을 질러 좀 맞더지 근데 뭐 스마트 용한테 저도 등을 들 전화 서비스도 양지와 어떤 양지 보면 고급지 요래서
Indeed. 동안 장난이 something 소래.
또 바쇼 때 공부랑 거나 그것도 되게 등은 공부랑 알아서 바쇼 때 공부랑 소소 공부랑 먹고 바쇼 공부랑 때라 등은 좀 맞더지 용거 때서다 등을 때리다 나서 삼로 손 삼동 도에나 들려냐지 기특고 요랬다.
And so the anger, and as I mentioned earlier, it's all caused by because of the suffering, the suffering we experience. Whenever we experience any kind of suffering, then we cannot able to tolerate or bear this suffering, and then we have anger and other emotions. And whenever it happens, and it is the object of compassions. It is object of the compassions, because when we see them, they are under the influenced by strong anger or hatred, then we should have a compassion toward them, because they cannot tolerate. Anger is not just arise, but because of the lack of the patience and experience tremendous suffering.
ngarji sede chitang ngarji la nam na so ngarji nang ne ta nga so ngarji nyomo ngarji sede ka zna ta so so le mbi banjuri na re ong cho yi na re ta so so wa ne chi yon de ni na de so so mbi so so le jan ni chot yin sam de le ngarji chi ne de la de ne jan la tong chong she sam ga jan jan je pso jan la tong chong shi sam la ngarji se ge
The second is pride. So pride, there are different kind of pride. It is the one of the negative mind, and there are different kind of negative minds of pride, and it arise due to having wealth, knowledge, and reputations, and so on and so forth. So basically, whenever we have those accumulations, we naturally we will have a sense of what do you call this sense of sense of superior, right? Sense of superiority, yeah, superiority, sense of superiority, and you have kind of naturally tendency to neglect or the criticizing and to criticizing others. So there's dirada shambadi.
tala ngarji de ga chitang ngarji na ngi chi thap kore ngi to yong sede chita poba tang de ka chirte de cha maris.
And so this is the bad pride or negative pride, basically kind of self importance, thinking you're as importance, and we neglect others, and criticizing others, and looking them down, and but there are good pride and positive pride that we self encouraging ourselves, and encouraging ourselves, and also that we have a inspiration that I can do it, and I can achieve it. So that is the positive pride.
Penang azu pusu so pa so li long zu pusu so kang yu wa de sam lo tan lo su ga go na wa de nga ji wa ngo li ji nam de ba to ji chong wa de ta ji wa shi ma de nga yang da rang jong to nga zu ji wa ka shi nga mi li la de ta ti li la ji wa shi ma kan ro ta de sam la ti se su su sam la tan wa tan da ngi ma ngo ye tan da de ma tan de ji jong to ba zu ji yin se po ba de yu na de ji dang ma ji kong bu zi da da jan la tong shong sem de yo ma se.
Um, and another the example will be having a good or keeping good and a positive pride. For example, you look at your current situations, and that I have
things that makes me happy, and I'm content what I have, like wealth and a name and knowledge and so forth. And and this is all I accumulate due to the good karma, a power of the good karma that I accumulated my previous life. So I shall have this kind of opportunity, have this wonderful resources in the next life as well. So I shall prepare myself. This life I got everything I want, and but I shall prepare for the next life. Make sure next life, even though not same, but even better. Better the virtues and spiritual life I should have. And of course, this is kind of maybe pride, but this is not a pride that we. It mentioned, and I mentioned earlier, the pride that involved that we criticize others, or and thinking I as a self, I as an importance.
다들 머리pat 머리pat 지금 와서 로버트 봐도 나도 봐서 이용 거 로버트 봐서 마인 봐서 염을 비semsla 로버트 봐서 머리pad는 거 머리pat 도지 아때 먼저 좀 다다 삼놓고 용 거로 뭐시와 머리pat 마또 봐서 하마고 됐다 나타메다 어 어때서 안에 뜨니가 머리pad지
지금 마인보다 힘벌라.
마인발의 힘을 좀 봐주지 또 로버트 봐 하고 막고 하고 주도 놀더라 하 로버트 안에 찍대네 지가 하마고 됐다
Mhm. And second is the maripa again. Maripa. Second is the ignorance. Ignorance, and the
당고인이 하마고 됐다 또 로고
the mainly it is the things that we fail to understand the reality, and we fail to understand the reality. So this is we call the ignorance. And so there are different kinds of ignorance, and ignorance that being exaggerated from the delusions. For example, believing or determining things in event, true, which is not true. So this is one of the example of the ignorance. And the another will be ignorance that things that we knowing nothing at all. So this is one of the example of the ignorance.
따때라 안에
And
is
is the
따와 있잖아 또 봐도 따와 때문에 다 마인 받을 힘을 좀 받들라 따와 loktaase the one lokor tawase over tawase de ne tupat ngawate tawar do tawate ta ta de marikpa se de mishwate tawase de mayin bajele yemar zamba zambi ne semne ta chok 좀 다 말하고 이제 주지도 소소 그 바치려 어떤 지 인차를 레진다 소소 다 줘야죠 뭐 인바다 인 말도 마인 bajele yemar zinde 다 줘야 되라 도버 loktaase tawase 전용 듣는 거 어디 녹다로
Okay, so the text that Geshe has and we have is a little bit different, and so forget what I translated earlier. And so first is for us is here is the marikpa, which is ignorance. So marikpa means knowing nothings, and so that is the marikpa or ignorance. And the second Geshe mentions tawa, which is the what is how do you say it? Opinionatedness, right? Opinionatedness, which is the afflicted view. It is the afflicted view, and that is the things, as I mentioned earlier, exaggerate things in event, and making that it as a true, which is true as not true. Not true as true, something like that. So that is the affected view, affected view, and this is usually the being used and or being have this most of the philosopher.
다 티쯤 티쯤 로싱이 was 인나 맨네 said 요나 맨나 said 다 컨터 지트나 특급 요나 특급면서 샘낭 타주마다 샘 삼로니 당니 되가 들 티쯤 세고스 로싱이 was 고
대수는 하세요.
티쯤 티쯤 아직 그랬어
나 대수는 doubt
또 티쯤도 로싱이 와 삼로니 당당 우리 답변에 개왕 없이 요당 매세 타주도 고마 어떤 타주 맡아 그 샤워 강동 공지나 어떤 게 지탑 그래 지탑고 말세 소 당초에 타주 맡아 때 뒤쯤 세 벌써
And the second doubt. So doubt is the affected doubt, affected doubt. It is the things that we cannot determine, things we cannot determine or cannot decide, and living in the two mind, and whether it is right or wrong, whether should I take it or not, and always we kind of having a two thoughts or two minds and cannot decide and cannot determine. And for example, like oh, is there next life or not? And should I, for example, any work or any task, should I do this or not? So we always confuse and having a two mind or two thoughts. So this is the one of the example of the doubt.
어떤 티쯤나 영 내가 당 내가 요르스 좀 내가서 일단 티쯤 전에 될라 되는 미 정말 도바정 거 도바지 클레이 나와서 될라 때 티쯤 껴라 되는 될라 쇼바지 탐나 쇼바지는 수 탁주지 토와이나 때 티쯤 영화 되고 그랬어 정화진에 될라 때는 티쯤 정화라 되네 될라 삼로동네 수 탁주지 토와 때 티쯤 되게 티쯤도 아주 오고 요르지 이나 티쯤 찍도 안에 딱 강시 연내면에 강시 세다 돈하고 전에 받주지면도 봐 아주 도중 지와라 받치스미 요르지 텔라 베랑네 에네 남 로만도 봐도 남 노르와도 남라 티쯤 싸워오네 다 아네 소소촌이 장화 만도나 장화 도바메 손나 텔 남텔 촌이미지 시큰 말 탑시와 말다 텔라 아네 론도바 람나 로요 로데 람 노르송에나 순도비돈 싸니 이게 말람 노르송에서 람가 로선 랩토고 말 람라 티즌 사워스 다텐 로나 레와 요나 메나 삼르잖아 로가 셔워드 파트 쪽에 각섬세 지금 사자지라 좀 로기나 당보 로사티 사자도 당당 니와지고 그래서 람 노나 때 사자들 레고 말 당보 때는 로긴 담바고 담바메나 때는 론도메나 때 좀 바수식 말이지 담바요와테 아니 또 로사 람카트 하고 가지 하고 될라더니 티점에 와지 딱딱 타주는 소 이치 요나 다 이치 정말 요나 될라더니 선나 좋아요나 될라더니 매봐요 거 봐주시네 르비르비 사실 랩터 하지 그러지
Let's talk more about the doubt. There are two kinds of doubt. One is the positive doubt, one is the affected doubt. And of course, we always try to avoid or eliminate affected doubt and have a having a positive or the good doubt. It will be beneficials. For example, um, let's say uh, let's say like positive doubt will be always it will always help us to kind of curious about the things and event, whether we are kind of confused and not knowing what is this and that. In order to us to determine that very objects or knowledge or anything, we first of all we kind of doubt, and because of doubt it will create the curiosity. And once we have a curiosity, we want to figure out, we want to find out what is this. And in order to us to understand, first of all we have to investigate, and through the investigations and so on and so forth, so we can able to find the what is real and what is wrong. And so this is all driven by the doubt, because once we have a doubt, so this is a good doubt. Otherwise, afflicted doubt will be, oh, here it is, maybe it is exists or non-exists, or there's things or no or yes, yes and no, like that. And we never want to, try to try to know the what is the real and what is the exist and non-exist. And actually there are three things that always create the hindrance uh, in our life in order to achieve that very the things and or the existence. For example, first obstacles will be not wanting to figure out, not wanting to check, not wanting to investigate. So this is the one of the obstacle. And and the second is the second is that we kind of stepping into the wrong directions. And the third is the doubt, negative doubt. And so these are the three obstacles. If you have these three obstacles, we never able to achieve the things that we want to have in our life. And this also the for example, uh, if we defeat these three obstacles, and then we'll have a first we have a great interest. And then having this interest, and then we want to know or discover that very important things. And after that we kind of delightedly we go and try to achieve that without any doubt.
그 송, 저 차송아.
Mhm.
뭐야? 그 조금 되게 보지. 그럼 정서 아니 그런 참 양지 가를 공부는 된 검진이. 섬도 컨터 섬라 다시 당니 섬라 상도 가르당 당고 섬지 등은 당단다 섬 대화 당단다 섬. 근데 섬 동기나. tintin ene semna ji ngomo sem jamba tin riona tele tang nem barjum ji ta ta ko se ra te mo lam son te la wo ma sem jamba tin nam to ki nguna am son te ma me azo ko ten ji ne kama kashi ji ga tak se tang si ko sem la tak se tang sem ka kar sam no kar ji ga sem la tak se tang so mo gil so gom ji so ru sham yang ji ji
So let's meditate for a few minutes. And today, our meditations will be love and compassions, and have a love and compassions for all uh, sentient beings free from suffering, and free from suffering, and always experience joy and happiness. So this will be our meditations object. And so during the meditations, and of course, there will be obstacles like a non-virtuous mind or afflicted mind might be arise. So as soon as it arise, try to hammer them down as soon as they arise. And so we'll do that. One is the have compassion, love towards sentient beings, and second, watch over your mind. If there's any afflicted mind arise, and hammer it down.
직당 나랑로 내가 소라 농부로지 양지 용한테 가르서 가정 산주농다 산주농다 양지 다 이렇게 막 특이한데 발스다 이제 그 막 특이한데 미 몽부 시주는 pom부도 몽부 키용네 들을 잡네 단 양지 발라 띄용네 띠 pom부도 시셔 근데 리가 걸었던네 키용네 pom부 참을 줘 그것이 리티 칸데 치네 pom부디 동바티네 뭐 진짜 어째서
And so recently, I was the emotionally and affected by this news that I saw. What currently what happening? War between Israel and Hamas. Right? Israel and Hamas, and I saw the news, and because of the destructions and bombing, and the father came and discovered his daughter was his daughter covered a white cloth, and when they opened this cloth from the face, and the father touched his face to his daughter, the dead daughter. So it's really affect me emotionally, and this is the reason why I have this very uh, 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 emotions, compassions toward them.
일단 등은들이 전화하면 등은들 나눠서 미기도 줄다시 잠바 그 말지 그래서 한번 해나
So, uh, one thing we have to know that this all suffering, whatever happening, is all made by us, or made by a human being.
그래서 딱 나눠서 로아 미 탐실 대화 통다나 다다 네급 그 삼동도 되게 등은들 전화 삼 대통 자위 네키 나눠서 대화 요 같은 나눠서 연진지 봐이나 이거 버리지
So therefore, we always, recognize these suffering, the suffering that we have, and once we recognize the suffering and reflect it on those suffering, and then we should have a great the desire that may myself and all sentient beings free from this suffering.
오늘 대답다
So I would like to take questions. Yes.
Simple question regarding positive doubt. You mentioned 3 obstacles. The first is not wanting to investigate. The second is stepping in a wrong direction. But I missed the third one.
Tambudi lelora. Niwadi. The lota diona ni lam noja du lora.
Nilingoma hamakona katsimba tsuchina takumarwa. Lelo uchini jindo mena temba tsuching marwa.
Yeah.
To some lamla chubi gaksams in binang titsum chiris.
Okay, so yeah, when I finished my translations, I thought I did a little bit bad translations. So good you asked the questions. So now it's more it's more clarify this translation. So this is not a 3 doubts. Actually, not a 3 doubts. It's a 3 things that creating obstacle us to engaging any 3 paths. 3 paths. So first one is the not wanting to investigate. Not wanting to. First, don't want to investigate and doesn't have any interest and the desire and so on and so forth. So this is the one of the obstacles that us to fail to engage in any path. So this is the considered as a laziness. And the second is the that is the afflicted view, and if you have a afflicted view or wrong view, then we always have a wrong mind, and we might step into the wrong path, right? If we step into wrong path, then we never get the destinations where we want. So that is the second obstacles in having a afflicted view or wrong view. And the third is the doubt, afflicted doubt. And if you have afflicted doubt, then we always kind of confuse and whether it is exists or not, whether it is true or not. So we never try to figure out what is right or wrong. So these are the 3 we call the 3 the negative minds that we us to create the hindrance in order to achieve the path and the practice.
I have a feeling I should probably hear a little more about opinionatedness.
Opinionatedness. You want to hear more about
A little
this?
more, yeah.
Modi tawa kola this mabuji hakunga to dosa. Tawa yara.
Tawa tepe ngonyo bores ra. Tawa nukta se ta. One 다와 nga tame nga de mangjo dawa sani phi ol ma yong gu jira da samsung no ma anje dawa de lokta se do ne tarta se do chatta se do dawa mo bu yos 오늘 마 삼성 no pa yong gu da samsung apchi nga chi no de yong gu da 저동 dawa se de de ji re ma re 타마 소소 있으면 de ji re 타 제바 줘라 de dawa se to no de 다와도 멍쳐 준다 말하기래 그거 말하기래 소수 삼동네 어디 지레 말해 봐 어떤 레 소수 있는 다 당당 민남은 소수 삼동네 타 제비 차질라 다와서
The that opinion is has a different there are many different kinds of opinioniness, and it is long words, let's say affected view. There are the different kinds of affected views, wrong view, and five wrong view, and five non wrong views, and the wrong the wrong view of the prominent wrong view, and the so there are different kinds of wrong view, and maybe I think the wrong view it also mentioned is the 51 mental factors. Later
아니 시 저희 것도 뉴용이 시세가 뉴용이 시나요
I think later maybe we'll have in the 22 approximate maybe we'll have more about the affected view, so we can discuss more. And actually wrong view
다와세 롱유서 뭐 다와세
다와레다
다와세 소소 생각도 이렇게 다 주지니 드르즈레 말에서 소소 너 지레 다 줘봤다 다와세 다와도 먼저 준다 말하기래
actually the view or the opinioniness there are it is the mind that once we determines mentally we determine, so that's what we call the view or opinioniness. It is the mind, usually that mind found in the tenets or philosopher, and the four philosopher.
근데 경험 없이 요벌 killing 그 임선지 정리 경험 없이 요바 요비 다와 killing 거 처음에 값이 매그 생긴데 그런 임선지 정리 또 killing 거 근데 그런 셈나나 그런 셈나나 타가 쳤는데 어떻게 그래 소소 이 저도 경험 없이 요동 매니 그런 좀 로어이나 강이 뭐 소소 다와 로로가 요자때 소소 다 줬진 시게 어때 다와서 했는데 다와 많더나 내가 그냥 지도 미 뭔가 내가 지나 다와 뭐이나 네 속시에 놓고 다와 많더나 뭐가 찾고 있다 강이 요다.
So this is the one of the problems. The speaking of the view, and let's say if there is a group of people, and if everyone have their own view, and then they cannot come together, or they cannot put their the viewpoints together, and they divided. Similarly, philosopher when they debate about the life, future life, and so forth. So one of the philosopher has to agree that there is next life, and one is saying there's no next life, and so each of them, whether believe or not, this is their view, this is their viewpoint. One determines that there's no next life, and one determines there is next life. So they debate.
근데 홍보하긴 공통소나 ndshi pongo tela de ngos ndshi pongo se de the maris 타송 것들 the 시서로 the 시 공부도 소리 공원이 등 아주 직등 감고 좁아롱사게 지진도 조리 논논논 저렇게 일단 the 시 공부도 소리 공원이가 샘송 그런 거네 샘 콘도치를 되나 그러니라 number 시 폼보즈 디나나 마저 서트 동그 임승가는 그러니까 첨보를 강제 그런 코로나는 소파 용서 지진도 the 시 당 초라니래 더 고치 초라 데드 뜻자님 용라는 걸 고친 듯이 따와만 들었지 따와가는 만큼 용라는 걸 대저 되니 서트 던지 돈 말해서 공부가 같이 시고 들었어
뭔가 로스트 해야 돼.
number 시 폼보던 서트 돈 바로 어떤 분이 number 남시로 샘으로 봐
네.
샘송으로
Number two, the
공부 가지고서 number 시 폼 소리 폼도 시면 number 시 폼도 가지고 뭐라 number 시 제동지 소리 폼도 시 폼이가 샘송으로 봐 number 시 폼은 디마디 서트 돈 바 가르레지 저 랜드죠 the 시지 폼도 소리 폼이 좁이지 비셔지 그런 용달랑사 지도 있었다 서트 돈이베 잡을 치용을 좁아 용사들 먼저 초라하거든 초라되디거든 민용라 뭐 거래 the 신전 당근 따위 건 따용라 뭐 거지
and for example, speaking of the view points or view, and they're always contradictory as well as the debatable subjects, and because of the viewpoint and so forth. And for example, the within the five consciousness, and
공부만
sorry, within the five aggregates, and the consciousness, they separately created this. What one is the perceptions, and one is the aggregate of feelings. So these two are the subjects of the one of the debatable subjects.
좁이지 본인 걸로 용달한 거다 초라데 득자니 용달한 거를 자와 따완 신진 당근 만다와 용달한 거 이게 어떻어 용달한 사실도
Because these two are the objects that always have the problems, and as well as the debate. For example, feelings, such as feeling, and also perceptions.
그러면 나군 정글 지가 지능 쓰는 미가지였어 나군 정글 같이 들어 같이 상금 미가지였어
Last night, His Holiness the Lama gave initiations, Manjushri initiations. How many you were attending? 3, 4. Very good. Yes. You have a question? Oh, you say you also attending. Okay.
그죠. 정무실 가정도 데이터 통자서 그래서 이것도 그랬다도 참 받더니 좀 세배 삼기부터 디쇼츠인데 엄청 소치는 아주 치시한데 배드리시니 실리지니 치시한데 삼나기 시당에 던지시니 대기당다 봐요 거. 정정나 먹지 않는 천사조에 가는 미선 던지시다. 아무런세. 너무나 좋으세요.
So yeah, yesterday I attended virtually, received the initiations from the Lama, and so kind of on the one hand, many people Yeah, yesterday Dalai Lama's the physical is very well, and also no cold and no flu and so forth. So physically he's very healthy and good. But when I look this and it's like because of that teachings and myself and now I believe many numbers of people have or contain or obtain the peace full mind. And on the one hand, many people obtain the peaceful mind. On the other hand, or the other side, we have a conflict, war, and no peace. Okay, now when we say the prayers, we should pray for the world peace in the new year. Okay, yeah, we'll say the dedications on page number 80. 80.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Temple. If you would like to make a donation for this teaching, you may do so by calling 812-336-6807 or by emailing the center at tmbcc.kcl@gmail.com. And it would certainly help the monks in the monastery. And if you would like to donate here in the temple, I'll pass this bowl around, and you may please donate if you can, and if not, just a prayer or a mantra in the bowl. Thank you. Oh, and Happy New Year, everybody. We have some snacks, coffee, and tea in the kitchen, so please join us afterwards. Thank you.
Law